William Jewell College welcomes Giles Davis to campus as the newest member of the coaching staff from the University of Indianapolis, so you're pretty familiar with the conference and probably run across Jewell once or twice.
Yeah, we just competed in the conference meet here the last 2 years. So
that's right.
I had a chance to walk the campus and experience campus life in the cafeteria. It's a great environment, really hilly.
Yeah, it is hilly.
It's a really great environment, and so I'm really glad to be here and looking forward to making a difference.
What was your role at Indianapolis, and how does that experience serve you here?
Well, my role at Indianapolis was kind of multi-purpose. I coached the sprinters, 800 meters down, long jump as well, and then I was the designated team manager. And what that meant was I did all the travel. I got the hotels, set up the meals, things of that nature, put together the competition schedule, and along with that I also did most of the recruiting in my event group. So I think that my U of I experience, I was there for 21 years,
wow.
Has prepared me to be in this position now as a head coach. I've got experience in dealing with budgets, again, planning out travel, and the recruiting piece as well. So I think over the years I've been able to glean enough experience to take Jewell to the next level. So that's my goal.
Coach, after 21 years, why be a head coach now?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. It's all about transitions. Unfortunately, about 20 years ago I got divorced. And when I got divorced, I got custody of my daughters, and I made a commitment to them that I wouldn't do anything in terms of relocating until they graduated. And it just so happened that my youngest just graduated high school, is going off to college now, and so everyone is transitioned out of the house. And this opportunity presented itself, and the timing was perfect. You know, both my daughters are in school now, and I was becoming an empty nester, and this opportunity came about. Right. And so I had an opportunity, and met with Tom and met with the search committee, and had a real good interview process with them, and decided this is where I wanted to be.
All of the things you mentioned a moment ago, the logistics of running a team and everything, but now from an assistant to a head coach, do you feel the weight shift a little bit? Is it a different burden being a head coach?
I would say that the barbell is a little bit heavier. Mm-hmm. Again, like I said, I'm not quite sure if it's more work. It's just after being at a place for so long, you kind of know the routine, and you kind of this is just a matter of me just really learning the routine, learning the expectations. Everyone is kind of moved forward a little bit and evolved, and there's a lot of things that they do digitally now, where we're used to doing a lot of paper and pencil type things. And so, and after a while, you get to the point where you just change the date and resubmit it, and now I'm having to create, basically making the most of our resources. We don't want to necessarily waste any other resources that we have, and then more importantly, really being aggressive with the recruiting. That's one of the things that was one of my challenges as being the new head coach is that there are some roster goals that I have to facilitate, along with approving the program. We just don't want bodies. We want to bring in quality student athletes, and so with those type of criterias, we have to work a little bit harder in recruiting. Sure. Because those kids are out there, but we have to go out and get them. And so because they're high academically and then have the talent to go with it. So the barbell is a little bit heavier. I would say that is not so much more work. It's just learning how they do things here, and I feel like with each passing day I'm getting a little bit more acclimated.
Sure.
The athletic team, support team has been really great. I've asked about 100 questions a day, and they've been really supportive of that. So that's been great.
Coach, you mentioned the recruiting. Obviously, that's a short and a long-term goal. But what are your other long-term goals, and how do you get there?
Well, again, I think that in terms of recruiting, again, what we're going to try to do is I'm just going to try to learn the area, learn the programs within the 3-hour radius, and then try to recruit student athletes who meet our academic profile, who also have an ability to score in the GLVC conference.
Sure.
I guess the key is bringing in the right kind of student athletes who can meet the academic demands, who also want to be achievers on the track, and then basically coach them up and develop them, and then again just kind of build. My goal for the program is to compete for a conference title. in all three sports, both in cross, indoor, and outdoor track. I understand it's going to take time, but again, the resources that we have here at William Jewell are comparable to anyone in the conference. We have great outdoor facilities, we have an adequate indoor facilities, we've got practice fields, we've got a budget per se that's on par with most of the guys in the conference. So all the things are in place. We just have to go out and recruit the student athletes who can facilitate the goal of, again, we want to be all conference, all conference athletes on the track. We want to be all academic in the classroom as well, and then more importantly, then aspire to go to the nationals.
Right.
We may not be a team to compete for a national title per se, but I feel very confident that we'll be a program that will be represented at each of those championships year in, year out, and just kind of build upon that as well.
You mentioned the three sports, cross country, indoor, and outdoor track. Is cross country the priority right now?
Well, again, I think for the academic profile, I think that, and with all the great trails and parks, I think that that's going to be one of our primary our first focus is to develop that cross-country program. We want to get about roughly 12 to 15 kids within that group on both gender sides. So that's going to be my primary focus first and foremost. And then again, I'm still going to try to fill the roster with track athletes, but we're going to try to grow the cross-country program first. We've got a young coach, and I think he's very passionate about it and has the capability to lead the program under my direction, of course. But so yes, we're going to try to grow the cross-country program first, and then the track will kind of complement it along the way. So,
lastly, you are theoretically sitting at a table with a potential student athlete, their parents perhaps. What do you want them to know about you?
Wow. Well, I'm very passionate, but my passion is defined by a purpose. And so I'm a high school teacher, first and foremost. I taught high school for over 30 years.
Wow.
And so I want them to understand that education is very important to me, and that's what I pride myself on. And so I see myself as an educator at all times, and that ensured that I would promise them a few things is that I will always challenge them to be the best student athlete they can be, but by the same token, I will never want this more than they do. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that I'm here to supplement them and encourage them, but I'm not going to take them places that they don't want to go. I'm not going to force them to do things they don't want to do. And more importantly, as a parent, I have that dual understanding. As a coach, but then also I bring the passion and the compassion as a parent as well. And so again, I always go with the philosophy is that, would I want my daughter, would I want my son to be treated in this certain way? And that kind of governs how I talk to my athletes. That kind of governs how I do things with them, because again, both my daughters were in sports, and again, I've been on both sides as a parent and as a coach. So I try to use them. My daughters are really kind of a guiding light for me, and a lot of things that I do, I think about them a lot in terms of how that would impact them. I often seek their advice or their counsel on, and what do you think about this, and how do you feel about that, so that I'm kind of current. I'm a little older, and so my daughters are the same age group, so I can kind of get a feel for what's the trend and what they're comfortable with. So.